welcome to Art Fest. And today we are speaking with a new guest. Guess who it's going to be? Well, today we are receiving Awosola. Is going to speak to us in a few minutes.
Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Good, good,
Thank
good.
you. How about you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very happy that you're here with us today to talk to us about your
Yeah.
art. So, Angelo, we need you to introduce yourself.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Awosola Michael Angelo. I'm a Nigerian and I'm a painter, a photorealistic painter. And
Okay.
I could say I am a Baroque artist, a Baroque photorealistic painter. Thank you.
Okay. So may I ask you, so how does your origin and where you are located affect your work?
Um, Presently I'm in Nigeria. In fact, I'm a Nigerian and I'm based in Abuja, the FCT. And actually, about how it affects my work, considering the economy of the country and the world economy particularly, it is obvious that the exchange rate is really affecting the prices of materials, coming from the aspect of buying your oil colors, the paints I use, the brushes, and the canvas on which we paint on, just to get the quality ones. Because I remember back then in 2013, I used to buy a tube of color for 1,750 naira. And unfortunately, now we buy it for 6,700 naira.
Mm,
You see, I could say that's about times five
mm.
of it, which is not really good. It's really affecting the art business. So every day we see new different things. If you just go to the art market, in the art store, you want to buy a tube of color, the price they tell you is what you buy.
Mm.
The price it, and when you tell your art buyers that this is price of work, we know that art is not supposed to be valued by price, but you just have to pay for it. So every day, when you tell customers and clients that this is the price of artwork, they will be surprised and no, they can't pay. But the cost of getting materials is really skyrocketed and it's really affecting the art business. It
I
is.
understand. Thank you for sharing that with us. Then in
Thank
that
you.
case, because I see this beautiful painting behind you, I was going to ask you, what's your favorite medium and why?
Okay, I use oil on canvas. Oil, strictly oil. Particularly, I use the Winsor and Newton oil colors because the to me, I've seen it as the one that suits my work
Mhm.
because of the vibrancy of the colors and how thick and strong it is, and it lasts longer for me. And I am this kind of artist. I like to work dry, wet on dry,
Mm.
particularly so that it can give me the vibrancy I want. So oil to me, it's freedom. It gives me the opportunity to maneuver, to move around, blend the colors, and it lives longer than any other medium of color. It lives longer
Ah,
to me.
all right.
Yes.
So what's the hardest part of creating a painting then?
I didn't get you.
What is the hardest part of creating a painting? Since this
Oh,
is the easiest part.
the hardest part of painting for me, uh, I've been doing this for years. Let's say about 10 years now, and I've not for one day sat to think of what's the hardest part.
Ah,
But
yeah.
to me, I think the hardest part is sitting down for long hours, sitting down, and it's really killing my social life. I could be in front of my canvas painting for as long as 6 to 7 hours because immediately I sit, I find it difficult to get up. And
Mm.
when I get up, it's really tiring for me to go back and start painting. I just feel the hardest part is sitting down in on one spot,
Yes,
for as long as 6, 7 hours. When you stand up, it's as if your back is about to crack.
I
So
can imagine.
that's what I see as the hardest part for me, sitting down for long. And, you know, there at that spot, I eat, on that spot, I press my phone, on that spot, I think. When I'm done doing everything, on that same seat, I get my brush again, start painting.
Wow.
That's it.
So you don't change location, you're always painting from the same spot.
Yeah, on the same seat. I use, this roller chair. So to stand up to go and get something there, I will roll myself as if I'm on a wheelchair. Because I feel when I stand up, I get, I don't know, maybe I lose the connection to go back
Ah.
again. But when I sit, when I grab my brush, trust me, I will spend nothing less than 6 hours because I get to start my painting as early as 6 a.m. Every day when I want to paint, I
Mm-hmm.
start 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Before I get up there is until 12. That's when I get my break.
Mm.
So just imagine me standing up in the middle, getting back again. It's really difficult for me
Yeah, I
to do it.
understand. So where do you find your inspiration then? Where does your inspiration come from?
Wow. I love watching movies. I love watching movies. And I read books too. I read not much of a reader, but I read some books. Particularly, I have specific books that I read. I read recently. I'm reading the richest man in Babylon. I don't
Okay.
know if you've heard about
Yes,
it.
yes.
I read the Hitler's Secret Book, and reading about war. I love reading about war because by my academic discipline, yeah, I didn't tell you I study political science. So
Ah.
I love the study of humanity, human history, and they bring more inspiration to me. And I watch movies like sci-fi movies, action, new technology. I get inspiration from them together.
So that's your inspiration. So is that what motivates you to create then? Like obviously you have this inspiration and then you must have some form of motivation to make you want to create something specific. How does that inspiration turn into what motivates you to create?
Do you know? I get motivation from some lines, maybe some lines of dialogue in a movie or some text lines in a book. For instance, when I was reading the richest man in Babylon, and I discovered some ways of surviving and how to live with life. So I got some inspiration. Okay, fine. People are going through a lot, or some particular movies. I get to see people are going through a lot, and I try to relate them to my own personal life because recently, most especially when I'm painting, every of my piece of art has a link with me
Mm.
personally. So I don't try to detach myself from my work because no work is out of me because it's coming from me. So it should have a relation to me, a relationship with me rather. So those paintings, in short, when I just get some words or I go out, particularly maybe I just go out and I see people. In short, let me just not make it too broad. I get my inspiration from videos, from movies, and I play games a lot. I play video games,
You're a gamer.
so I get so I get those motivation from them to paint.
Okay.
And in short, the human life, the humanity, it's all. If you see my paintings, most of them have the human figure in them. So
Mm.
I try to center my work around what people are going through, what I'm going through, about me, about you. Because even if I tell you this motive behind my paintings, you will have a personal relationship
Yes, of
with
course,
every
of
piece of
course.
art.
It makes sense.
So, mhm.
But I would love to know, for instance, what is the concept behind the painting behind you? Can you take us through the
Okay,
concept behind it? Like you could explain to
okay,
us the idea
okay.
and
If
the
you
concept.
if you see this little child there, I don't know
Yes.
if you can see it clearly. She's
Well,
looking up to the sky.
okay.
Can
Can you
you?
lift your camera a little bit so we can see the top of the face? Oh yeah, okay, that's fine now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see it clearly
Yeah, I
now?
can see it now.
This is a little girl looking up,
Mm-hmm.
and downward you see something like a city gate. This
Yes.
is the Abuja city gate.
Oh.
This is the symbol of Abuja. When you come to Abuja, this is the Abuja city gate. Now, looking at this work, there are ribbons around her. The ribbons represent responsibilities. In
Okay.
all the series I just completed in my last exhibition,
Mm-hmm.
all these ribbons represent responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And you would ask, why would a child be bounded with responsibility?
Yeah.
Every child has a responsibility because they may not see it as responsibility for now, but they see they could take it as fun, something interesting to them. But for adults, you're one way or the other, you're surrounded by with responsibility, your own to bear, your family responsibility, your siblings, your parents, they always
Mm-hmm.
call you for responsibility. Now, this city gate, one day I got inspiration from a day I was going to the city, and I discovered there's a lot of traffic at the city gate, which was not usually like that, like 5 to 6 years ago. And one woman in the car in the bus said, "God, no let Abuja turn like Lagos." I don't know if you know about the Lagos, how the traffic in Lagos is so crazy, a traffic jam for like hours. And that kind of situation is already happening in Abuja. So the woman, the way she said it like praying, but it happens like she's interceding
Mm.
on behalf of the whole Abuja residents. And I was like, wow. And I looked at this child, look at a little kid. She's blameless. She's still a child. And this kind of child, imagine her interceding on behalf of the city. And I titled the word keeper of the city.
Mm.
Now, she's not the keeper of the city. You see, she's looking at the imaginary being.
Yes.
That is the supreme being up there, interceding on the city that please, the keeper of the city, and the Bible says the keeper of the city doesn't what? Doesn't sleep, does
Mm.
slumber. So I got the inspiration, and these ribbons represent our own responsibility. Our own responsibility is interceding on behalf of the city.
All right. So
That's
this is
it.
the whole meaning
Yeah.
behind this painting. Thank you so much for
This
explaining.
particular
That's really deep,
piece.
That's really deep. So you also use Bible, the Bible to inspire
Yeah,
you in. Okay.
a lot. Yeah, I do. I do,
Okay.
but I use the Bible.
That's really good. So I mean, I want to know, like, your work is very original. I've never seen anything like that before. But I'd like to know, who are your biggest artistic influences?
Okay. Thank you. Actually, I before I started using this my style of painting, I tried to search around, do my research, my background research, as anyone be doing such like this, so that it won't end up like I'm copying someone.
Mm,
And particularly, I could tell you, I can tell you categorically that I am the only one that have been doing this kind of work all over the world using three major colors and the dark background. Are you getting it? I
yes.
use the red, the blue, and the yellow. And when you see other tones of colors, they are the shades of the red. There is one that I did that has a touch of green. I think is in my stacked works. So I will have shown you if time permits. It has a touch of green,
Mm-hmm.
and the touch of green is not intentional. It's an introduction of the blue and the yellow.
Okay.
So this kind of style of work is just unique. And if you know about the Baroque art, the art that influenced me, and the Baroque art. The Baroque art is a style of art that originated in the 17th to 18th century,
Mm-hmm.
whereby most part of the painting or most part of the subject of the art is in dark.
Mm, true.
Why they just talk about one particular part that is highlighted.
Mm,
Are you getting one particular part?
yes.
Just simple highlighted. Allow me to show you just one piece. One piece,
Okay.
please. Okay. This is one of the recent one I just finished after my
Ah,
exhibition.
yes.
Look at this lady. This is a lady.
Mm.
Every part of it is in dark. Even the shoulder is in the dark. She's holding a lamp. Part of it in the dark. Her face is in the dark. Everything, the part of her hair. She has a lot of hair, but everything is in the
In the
dark.
dark.
You know, very funny thing is this is the source of the light.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the source of the light is peeking out, just touching the extreme highlight. When the light comes, it comes extraordinary to the eye, to the highest highlight.
Mm.
And when it goes into the dark, it goes into the darkest dark. Are you
True.
getting it? It's more
Yes.
like a chiaroscuro art. Now,
Yeah, I see
use
what you
bringing
mean.
back, bringing back the Baroque art in a contemporary way. You know, the Baroque artists are the Europeans like Caravaggio and even people like some still talk about this guy Leonardo da Vinci as the Baroque artist, but those ones are in the medieval age.
Mm.
But I still take my muse more from Caravaggio.
Ah,
So,
okay.
should I hit on this?
Yes,
Should I
please
hit
tell
on
us
this?
about this one. I really want to know about this one. Please tell me about this one.
Oh, you know one thing about my works, I don't rush to title my works. I could say I'm not yet I've not yet titled it, but I posted on my Instagram
Mm-hmm.
and I asked that let us give it a title together. And there's a lady, one of my followers, she said she would have loved to tag it I can't remember something like the lamp holder or something. And I was like, okay, what if I tag it title it the touch of the touch, like touch the touch like
Yeah.
TOUCH
Yes.
of the touch
Okay.
TORCH.
Yeah.
Because if you look at every part of the work is dark. This lady will have been, this subject will have been in the dark, if not for the touch of this touch
Mm.
that brought out the light out of her.
True.
So everyone in our life, in one way or the other, we have been in the dark, struggling to come out to the limelight. You can relate this to yourself. When
Yes,
you look at
definitely.
it, you have been in the dark for a particular period of time. The dark doesn't mean in the dark room. It could be a time whereby you are confused.
Mm.
You are not sure of the next step to take. You don't know how to survive a particular time. And suddenly a light just came up
Mm.
and you take advantage of it. It's just like opportunity when it comes, you take it. And
Yeah.
when it comes, it brightens you, brings you to the limelight. So I'm trying to use this work to prophesy into my life or
Mm-hmm.
to the life of people saying like, okay, fine. Despite there will be dark, but there's always light in the after the tunnel. That's what the Bible says. That
Yes.
though sorrow may last for the night, but joy cometh in the morning. That and they say that there is a light after every tunnel. She's passing through at dark times, but with the discovery of light, she was brought to the limelight.
Definitely. This is a really, really good concept, really good story behind this painting. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank you
that.
very much.
Then, in that case, I would like to ask you one more question. Um, how does your
Okay.
work affect societal issues? What's the purpose of your work
Mm,
to you? What's the purpose of your work, first of all, I'd say?
okay. You know, there's a saying that art is meant to comfort the distressed and also to distress the comforted. I don't know if you get the point.
Yes, I get the
If you are
point.
too, if you are too, if you are too relaxed, life is not that way. You are not supposed to be completely relaxed.
Mm.
And if you are discomforted, like in distress, it's not supposed to be like that all the time. So, talking about the society, what makes the society? The humanity. You and I, we make the society.
Mm.
Take, for instance, you and I, we are away from a particular place. The development in that place will die.
Mm.
The human development brings about the societal development. And when you look at my works, they center more about the human figure, which means that human is the fifth element that develops a place.
Mm.
Are you getting it? After the
Yes.
water, the land,
Air,
air, fire, and man.
and then
And man is the fifth element.
yeah.
Now, Man discovered every other ones.
Mm-hmm.
We made use of the other ones. So I use human figure to depict everything around the society.
Mm.
Okay, look at this now. This is the fire. Brings about light from them. Are you getting it? I just want to I mostly use my work to explain how the society can never survive without humans, without you and I. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Even if it just takes me painting someone's hand and holding something on it, it means that this hand is significant. It came from a source. It's someone's determination to hold on to it. So it means the human determines the society. So
Mm.
whatever is happening today is as a result of human being, be it good or bad.
Yeah.
So we are the determinant of the society. Thank you.
So that's so your work is really about kind of showing what how humanity is impacting the world in different ways.
Exactly.
Okay. Just to
Exactly.
summarize it.
Perfect. Thank
So
you.
that's really good, that's really strong. So that means you can cover so many societal issues. You're not limited.
hmm
Okay, that's wonderful.
hmm Yeah.
And
You
then
can even my work.
yeah, what did you say?
They tend to attend to emotions,
Yeah.
mood, time, what people are facing through, what people are passing through, rather, at that moment. So definitely those works, they are going to stand the test of time. Definitely, they will. They will.
Oh, thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing that with us. I've got a
Mhm.
few more questions for you. I'd like to ask
Please.
you, what's your favorite artwork out of all your babies that you have so far? Do you have one that you can say is your slightly preferred child?
Okay. If I should tell you my favorite, that means I'm telling you I have a masterpiece already.
Hmm.
Is that it? But unfortunately, I don't have a masterpiece yet. I don't have a masterpiece yet
You don't?
because
Okay.
at the moment, I have a canvas, an empty canvas lying behind me. It will be my biggest so far, and
Yeah.
I've not even planned it. I've not sketched it. I'm not ready. I've not started working on it.
Hmm.
Say again. And what I'm trying to say is that if I should tell you that I have a favorite painting, I will be biased
Hmm.
at the other babies. Because personally, one thing is when I'm doing a painting, I so much love it. Like when I see the end of that painting, I just keep doing it, keep doing it. When I'm done with it, I love it so much. And give me 2 3 days when I start another one. I've forgotten that one. I'm starting. Yeah, I started
Oh my
facing the other
God.
one, and even when I wanted to do my exhibition, I was lost in the choice of. I missed the choice of choosing the one to use for my the cover page of my catalog, and I
Yes.
was like, which one should I use? When should someone had to choose for me? Like, okay, use
Ah.
this one. Use this one for the front page and use this one for the back page. Okay, fine. Since still they are both the production of myself. They are
Hmm.
representing me. So that means I'm the one at the front, I am the one at the back. So me choosing one over the other will make me get too personally attached to that painting.
Hmm.
And it's not good for me to be so emotional about painting. So I will so that I won't go and invoke Angelo spirit in that painting.
Ah.
That's it.
Fine. You found a very,
So
very sweet way not to give us your favorite one yet, but
they,
we will
they
accept
get
it
the
for
point.
now. We'll come back and check that canvas
Mhm.
you kept at the top to see what will be there
I will. I will show
when
you.
when you're
I
ready
will show
for it.
you.
Oh, I'd love to.
I
I'd
will
love
show
to
you.
see it.
I will show you.
And then
I will show you.
I want to ask you, I mean, about your painting technique. So how has it changed over time? Because obviously you've been painting for over 10 years now. So how has it
hmm
changed?
Okay. There's a saying that change is constant.
Mm,
Change is constant, and you can't do the same thing the same way for a very long time
Mm.
and expecting to get different results. No, you surely always get the same thing over and over, and you start wearing yourself out and wearing your viewers out. Um, Truly, my style of painting has changed over the years because the first time I released this my style was in 2019. 2019, I did the first one, and I was like, wow. I tried to see what people are going to say about it, the reaction of people. And it was nice. People were like, wow, how did I achieve this color? Truly, the first one I did in 2019 took me about, let's see, uh, let's say 2, 3 weeks before I could able to get hold of myself. But eventually, when I was doing the third one happens to be the one that is closely related to this one because the first one was not completely related. It didn't have strong colors like this. So when I did the third one, I pushed myself to do the third one in that same 2019, which was this. Oh, 2020. So it was 2020 I did the third one, the third series. And I was like, I could tell you I used more than a month on one particular piece
Mm.
because I was scared of making mistake. How will I get it right? What will I do? How will I mix these colors? Fine. It was really difficult for me. But over time, when I saw people's reaction, like, and I did a group exhibition with my colleagues. I am in a group in an art movement. So I did an exhibition with them, and they were like, "Come on, Angelo, do this more of this work." Okay. Last I said, okay, I'm going to calm down and do more of it. I will tell you within September last year, 2021, to the moment we are speaking, of this series of work, I could tell you I have about, give or take, 32 pieces on ground that I've
Mm.
produced. 32 pieces of this series. And you know one very funny thing? They are all unique. I don't have a repetition. When I do one, I don't do it again. I
Mm.
don't do it again. I don't repeat my works. So, for instance, as this one is like this is the only piece, this particular one, this particular painting is the only piece all over the world. All over the world. You can't see a copy of it. Any copy of it that you see is counterfeit. It's a counterfeit, I can tell you. So, my style has changed over the time. It's really difficult. It's really difficult in a country whereby you have millions of artists, everyone's striving to be known, to be seen, to be famous, to make a name in the field, in the industry rather. And, me trying to bring out something different, it took me a long time because even after I did that first one in 2019, I had to wait for 2 years
Mm.
until 2021 last year before I continued. And the
Why?
first one I did, because I was trying to think of how I could do it to make it so nice. In short, the reason why I was able to do about 32 in such a quick time is because the 2 years period I
Thinking.
was thinking hard, getting things down, jotting things down, getting myself ready. Like, I don't want to do something now. Maybe after 1 month or 2 months, I do another one. It will not be so serious. I
Mm.
just want to do something like, okay, when you give it to the people, give it to them, and they'll be like, wow, this guy is ready for business.
Yeah.
So the change actually came suddenly for people, but for me, I've been thinking about it for years. And I have friends and colleagues that speak to me, they talk to me, and I was like, wow, how to listen to advice? I can't be doing the same thing over and over, the same thing, the same way, like every other artist, and expect change for greatness for myself. So the change came by the as a result of my own self will,
Mm.
um, deposition from the society, good depositions
Mm.
into me. So that was what gave birth to this
Okay.
new style of art.
And
Yeah.
I would ask you my last question for you would be, what advice would you give your younger self?
Ah, you mean younger me?
Yes,
I didn't
to
get that.
like maybe fasten everything to make things quicker, or I don't know. What would you do? What would you change if you could change anything?
First, I'll tell my younger self, don't grow old. Funny,
That one will be hard.
eh? Yeah. No, I don't think I can grow old. Ask me how.
How?
Ask me how.
How?
Okay. By not growing old. When something grows old, it means it's worn out. It's out of fashion. It's out of vogue. Now, if I'm telling myself not to grow old, it means don't go out of fashion.
Hmm.
Okay, this is my style. I try to do it colors and light. If you look at it, I just have colors and the use of light and the use of colors in my work.
Hmm.
Are you getting? That's my style. Wherever I go, colors and light styles. Are you
Hmm.
getting me? The style, colors and light, and it's going to be with me forever. Now, the colors and light, you don't expect me in the next 5 to 10 years still painting this kind of work. I'm expected to introduce new things,
Hmm.
still in the same colors and light. Fine, I use the three major colors, which makes my work more photorealistic.
Hmm.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
Though I go into artist block at a time, whereby whatever I'm painting looks like rubbish to me. Yes. Before the exhibition, I had a painting that I just abandoned it for about a month. I did the exhibition in May and I stopped painting all my works in March. But do you know there was a particular work? The work is here. If you want me
Hmm.
to show you, I can show you.
Yeah.
For a month, I was I was just lost. I don't know how to mix my colors anymore. I don't know how to get myself together. So the advice I gave to myself was like, no, you don't have to get going like this. For how long are you going to be in this kind of situation? So when I'm going to give my younger self an advice, I think just tell myself, Angelo, don't go old. Don't go old at what you do. Don't let only one way be the only way for you. Because there's a saying that there's an adage in my native language that says, onokon waja, one way doesn't enter into the market.
Hmm.
So if you have gone through this way, people will be like, okay, he's always going this way. Leave Angelo is always going. Why don't you just come through this way? Come
Hmm.
through the other side and you're like, wow, it's coming in a new style. So people that have thought that okay, you're going this way, will come and face like, okay, let us see what you're doing next. The next way, you come this way. In short, at the time they will be like, oh, Steve Angelo is a multi-stylized artist. He can't get his way, he can't get his own way, and you understand. So my advice for myself is don't get old. Don't get old. Keep doing new things. Keep doing
Okay.
new things. It's simple
And
advice
then
for myself.
what would you advise new artists that they are up and coming artists and they're eager to meet you up where you are
Mhm.
now. So what would you give them as an advice? This time it's not for you, it's for the others.
Okay. First, um, I'll first tell them that they can meet up where I am. That's the truth. One, because myself, I haven't stopped working. Even the people ahead of me, I've not met them. You get what I'm saying? That's
Yes.
just a joke by the side. That's just a joke by the side. My advice for the younger generation or people coming up is they should never get tired of it.
Mhm.
Myself, at a time, I paint, I draw almost every day. Wherever I go to, I go with my sketch pad. I keep producing. And as well, don't give room for negative opinion.
Mm.
That particularly is important. Don't give room for negative opinion. There was a Chinese adage, is it Chinese or Japanese adage that I read? It says that a samurai never says negative things about himself because the warrior in you will get lessened by it. like lesson, like LESSON.
Yeah.
We get lesson by it. Now, when you talk negative about yourself, it kills you. How much more giving the room for people out there saying
Yeah.
negative things about you? Okay, when I started the art professionally in 2000, I could say 2012, yes, back in the university, my friends were like, "No, Angelo, stop doing this. You are going to waste your material, wasting your time. You are just wasting your money." And I was like, "Okay, I've heard you." But do you know, before I left the university, the same people that were like, "Wow, you are doing well. You are doing well." If I had listened to them, where would you think I would be here today? I won't be having this interview with you. In fact, you wouldn't have noticed me.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. So the most important thing is, don't get discouraged. Don't give room for negative thoughts. People will come here and say, Angelo, why don't you? I was thinking you should stop doing this. Why don't you just start using a different type of thing? Maybe you should use, instead of using blue, why don't you start using purple or the secondary colors? I'll just tell you, wow, nice idea. I wouldn't I wouldn't tell you you are saying rubbish. I wouldn't tell you you have said it well. I wouldn't say you are telling me what I wouldn't even react negatively because I wouldn't know there will be a day you give me a good advice that I will use. So I will not discourage you. I'll tell you, okay, that's true, that's true. I'll think about it. If it's not necessary, I wouldn't think about it. But if it's necessary, I'll think about it. I'll ask questions from my colleagues, my fellow artists, because I have fellow artists that we are in the same art group. They have different opinions. So some will tell me, okay, this one is good, but that doesn't mean I'll take their advice too. I'll just choose which is good for me and not which is not good. I wouldn't trash it, but I'll just keep it because they will be useful at the time one day. So
That's true.
what I'll tell people is don't give room for negative opinion and don't stop producing. And one thing is you can't expect yourself to be doing the same thing the same time, the same thing every time and expect change. No, no, no. If you want to get to the top, be ready to get there. Be ready. Be ready to get there.
Ah,
Because the
thank you so
top,
much
is how do you,
for all this
yeah.
advice. Thank you so much for the advice, Angelo. I really appreciate the interview, and I'm looking forward to see more of your work. And thank you for all the advice
Yeah,
you've given.
there's this large painting here. Don't worry. I think that would be my favorite painting because it's talking about
Well, we don't know
uh,
yet, but
okay,
soon,
don't let me tell you then. Don't
soon,
let me.
soon. Don't tell it now.
Yeah, you will. Okay, okay.
but
You will see it. I will send you.
yeah.
You see
But
it.
thank you very much, and I'll speak to you very soon again.
Thank you very much, Ifedolapo. I'm so
You're
grateful.
welcome. Bye bye.
Yeah, have a good day. Bye bye.